this is literally cheating. But some people in the comments are calling him insecure. And it's disrespectful at the same time because it's been done in front of you. Bro, I think you should just end that relationship and move on. This is cheating. End of the discussion.
But should she legally be able to decide a day before birth?
Yeah.
You don't want it to happen.
I am not consenting to you putting any of my face or my information anywhere.
I understand.
Ever.
I understand that you don't want that to happen.
No, I don't consent.
Okay. That's okay for you to not consent.
Then don't put my stuff anywhere.
I understand you don't want me to do that.
Don't do it.
I understand you don't want me to do it.
Is this why you record for stupid?
So for context, they were talking about abortion, and this snowflake right here says that a mother has the right to abort her child even a day before birth. I don't know how to say this, but I think that's impossible. And that was so stupid of her to say something ironic like that. And you can see that she realizes it when she gets triggered for no reason, just because they're having a conversation, and it made her feel some type of way.
Does it bother you that there's no prominent African Americans in the White House?
We have to stop believing in this illusion that because somebody is black, they represent my interests. We learned that lesson via Barack Obama. I mean, he was in the White House for 8 years and didn't do much for the black community. So I'm not interested in the color of people's skin. So I'm interested in what they do and what they accomplish.
I'm really interested in your perspective here.
Yeah, I think that we have to stop believing that diversity is the color of people's skin, because that's an illusion that the left has sold, that somehow because somebody matches my skin color, because somebody matches my gender, they have my best interests at heart. Unfortunately, if you believe in the ability to think and to have a dialogue, that is a position that's on the right today.
When you target someone by attaching their name to your joke, that's okay.
Yeah, but I'm not inciting people. You are inciting people.
You're normalising.
Every single person I've spoken to about the things that you have said about me don't understand any of it. And if I just sit there and interrogate the people who are alleging things about me, I can just sit there and explain to them the context, and they go, well, that's not very important, is it?
You're normalising this kind of language. Here are some
I'm
comments
normalising comedy because at this point comedy is under attack in this country.
Here are some of your
I'm being
comments from your
investigated for a
social
joke.
media
I can name other comedians who are being investigated for jokes. We have gone down a very dark path. As Orwell says, printed on the front of this building, if liberty is to mean anything at all, it must mean the right to tell people that which they don't want to hear. Do you stand by that or not? This is the BBC. Does the BBC stand by that or not?
Here are some comments from your social media pages.
You see, here's the thing with the left. They stand for liberty and freedom, but as soon as you say something against them, they go berserk on you. And that's not what liberty is, nor freedom of speech. If you're gonna be okay with me saying something that benefits you, then you should be also okay with me when I'm giving you constructive criticism. Otherwise, it looks like you're trying to force your ideologies on people, or you're just delusional that you can't even take constructive criticism.
Oh, you were the same person that ran away.
Why don't you present
you want to have a conversation?
No, I'm not going to have a conversation because I'm not going to give a platform to you fucking Nazis. Why don't you go home?
You can't explain
and
your
quit being
position.
such fucking losers. My position is I care about human rights, and I care about people living their lives and minding their own fucking business and not being in my face with stupid fucking cameras. So, why don't you just get out of here?
We can bring down the volume a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I don't care. I am trying to make a scene because you guys.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
Trans people.
That's
no,
not
you're not going to ask me shit.
Do you think it's okay to sterilize children?
None of this shit is actually happening. You guys are fucking dumb.
Really?
Kids aren't getting puberty blockers? What is not happening that
I'm not putting myself on this platform. You guys are fucking idiot losers.
Well, you just put yourself on
You're
it.
the one inserting yourself into the platform.
Go home, you fucking redneck loser.
Is that the best argument you can marshal?
It is. It is. The best.
Let's ask you, why don't you like President Trump?
He's a liar.
What did he lie about?
Did you really not know?
I'm asking you, I don't know.
Well, you could Google it.
Google what?
Why don't you try?
So you have no answer?
My answer is, why don't you try?
You're out here protesting, you spent hours out here today sweating. Why don't you like President Trump?
Is it transphobic to say only women have a cervix?
Well, it is something that shouldn't be said. It is not right. But Andrew, I don't think that...
So Rosie Duffield should not have said that. Can you explain to people watching why she should not have said that?
Well, Andrew, I don't think that we can just go through various things that people have said. Rosie Duffield, I spoke to Rosie earlier this week and told her that conference was a safe place for her to come, and it is a safe place for her to come. And I spoke to others to make exactly the same principle. we do everybody a disservice when we reduce what is a really important issue to these exchanges on particular things that are said. The trans community are, as I say, the most marginalised and abused of many, many communities, and we need to make progress on the gender
I'm sorry, but no. If something is true, it should be said. We don't care about someone's feelings. If their feelings always get the best of them, then they should probably get help.
First of all, I'm not a misogynist, because a misogynist is someone that puts down women. I exalt women to their rightful role. Women are supposed to be women, not men. And every time somebody says that a woman is equal to a man and does what a man could do, and you're actually abusing and denigrating women. Women have a unique purpose, and they're special. They're fearfully and wonderfully made by God. I support women. So I'm not a misogynist. I don't put down. You're putting down women by saying women can be men. You're putting down women by saying transgenders can be women. No, they can never be women. Women are special, and no man can just convert and say I'm a woman today. You're putting down women by saying that.
Preach, brother, preach.
So you're actually anti-women. I'm pro-woman. I'm pro-mothers, I'm pro-wives, and I'm pro-women.
As a parent, how would you feel knowing that you don't know which teachers have a gun and you've had bad experiences with prior teachers? What if that teacher that absolutely,
So
blown
my answer to your question is I feel the same way about the guard in front of my kid's school. I don't really know the guard, but he's gone through training, and I presume that he knows what he's doing. And frankly, I feel the same way about a police officer. I don't need the police officer, but they've gone through training and they were willing to take on that responsibility. And so I would apply the same logic. It's so interesting that you bring that up, because it really ties back to why I feel like we need to be careful about how much responsibility we're saddling teachers with teaching our kids values, right? On the one hand, the system is saying, trust our teachers, they know better than you parents. We should be able to teach them what they need to know about sexuality. On the other hand, you guys are admitting that many teachers are not really checked for mental issues. We don't really know what is happening in these classrooms. We don't know about what's breaking.
Today we're gonna watch a transgender person gets confronted by a father in a woman's bathroom.
A man walked into the women's bathroom at McDonald's. Been in there for like 5 minutes. Oh boy. Hey. I care.
I'm transgender. Okay?
You're a man, dude.
I'm a trans woman.
You're not a trans woman. You're born a man. I do. What if my daughter was in there and you walk in there?
It don't matter.
It matters to me.
I am a female.
You are a man.
You're a female. Are you sure about that? Have you looked in the mirror lately?
Female.
You're a man.
That's right.
My
Correct.
daughter goes into those bathrooms and no man needs to be in there. You understand me?
I'm a man.
You are a man. You are created as a man. You are a man. Start acting like a man. Act like a man. Act like a man. You're a man. Well, act like one. What happened?
Bro, I don't understand what are you even saying.
Why are you acting this way? I'm a man. So are you.
No, I'm not.
Then what are you?
I was born intersex, dude. Think you don't know what that is?
Intersex.
Sir, you're going to have a problem if you keep going into women's bathrooms. Somebody's going to do something to you. I'm just telling you the truth.
I've been doing this for years. You want to do something? Fuck outside.
Yeah, I just did something. I told you the truth.
Fuck outside, bitch. Do something.
You go outside. You're a pervert. Go away.
Yeah, like you're a bear?
Go away.
Like a man, bitch.
I am a man of God.
I'm a woman.
I'll turn my other cheek, but I'm not afraid to tell you the truth. I'm not afraid to tell you the truth. Sir, you need to go.
Seriously, take one truth, please. God created everybody where he wants to be.
Yep,
right?
he created them male and female, just like the Bible says.
I was born with both, dude. Okay?
So what? You look like a man. You look like a man. You look like a man.
Google on your phone, it's called intersex.
Yeah, I know. I've already heard about it. I've already heard about it. I don't need to educate myself. You look like a man. You should be walking into a men's bathroom, period. You got a man chest, you got man legs, you got a man face, you got man arms, you got man everything.
Yeah.
So what?
So
you
what?
don't belong in the women's bathroom. Yeah, because the world allows it. Men ain't standing up, that's why. Yeah, the world is dumb and they're falling into the sins of the world. They're being given up, like you.
Well, I lost everybody by you. You feel the right to be what I can't be in this country?
No, you have all the right to be here.
I do what the fuck I want. You got problems?
Yeah, I do have a problem But guess what? God will take care of you in the end. Have a nice day, sir.
You see, this is the problem that parents have with people like this. He thinks that just because he identifies as a woman, he can go to women's bathrooms now. And I guarantee you that most men, and especially women, would not tolerate this kind of behavior or allow it. Because can you imagine if a woman goes to a woman's bathroom and she finds out that a transgender person is there with her? She would feel terrified and confused at the same time. Bro, the clown world that we live in allows this kind of shit, that, as the father said. But anyway, man, let's go see what the people are saying in the comments. This is the fastest transition from a woman into a man I've ever seen. Yeah, bro, I agree. His voice is more deeper than me. 100% support the father. Of course, we all do. I'm 5'2" and small build. If he walked in, I'd be terrified. See? Exactly what I was saying. As women, our instincts kick in. We need more men like him calling him out. Probably need security on the women's toilets now. I mean, at this point, I don't see why not. I would advocate for security on women's bathrooms. His outfit says it all. He's a predator. He proved that he's a man by offering him outside. Yeah, and he wants to make excuses and say that he's intersex or some shit like that. That's bullshit. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, a minority of people are like that. He was just making excuses to get away with it when he got caught. That's what people like this do. Avoid accountability and take no responsibility at all. They blame everyone but themselves. We're living in a sick, twisted society when losers like this are protected and have more rights than the good men confronting it. Valid point. I agree 1000%. This sentence sums it all up.
We're here asking people at NYC Pride, how many genders are there? How many genders are there?
I don't know, however many people want. I just say mind your business.
I like that. Well, how many genders can you give birth?
Literally, go away from me.
Can we ask y'all some questions to our YouTube show?
Okay.
Hey, Mark. Dang. But hey, can y'all answer how many genders?
Can you back up?
Oh, sorry, man. Let's do it. How many genders are there?
I believe there's an infinite spectrum.
How many genders can have a baby?
There's a difference between gender and sex.
How many sexes can have a baby?
I mean, it takes two sexes in order to have a baby.
Like, how many sexes can like have a baby out of their womb?
Well, any individual that has a womb.
So that's how many? Infinite? I'm asking people. I'm just trying to get a clarification. So
if you have a womb, your gender can be in an infinite spectrum, but...
So you're a birthing person. I love it. Thank you.
I just keep thinking to myself that 10 years ago this would have been a parody, and just by watching these people, it's sad that this generation became like this. Gender to these people is like a personality trait, and you can see in their faces that they know the correct answer, but they need to answer as it relates to the culture that they are a part of. But anyway, let them live in their delusion, because you can't fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed.
Total free world. We're advocates of not mistreating little children to death. That's the position that we oppose, the F them kids position. Third time I've heard it today. What's that? F them kids? We do think that that's what it's about. We think that the reason people like yourself like abortion is because you hate kids. And because you hate God, who created those kids and made them in his image.
I think murder's pretty cool.
Murder's cool?
What are your pronouns?
Either she, her, or they, them.
What does they, them mean?
Pretty much it's when I'm feeling more of not gender confined, like pretty much no gender. I choose to go by they, them.
So you don't feel like a gender sometimes?
Pretty much. Like, I'm still questioning what my gender is. Like.
So how does that process work?
Pretty much just I'm playing around with different gender identities and different pronouns until I figure out exactly which one.
And so some days you feel like a what, and some days you feel like a what?
Some days I feel she, her. Other days, like today, I'm feeling more no gender.
Wow.
Do you agree that there are only males and females in the human race?
No.
Okay, so you definitely don't agree with my conclusion then at all.
No.
We actually are totally on opposite sides of this question, it turns out. So what are the other categories, if not male and female?
We're going to be here all night if I have to doing that.
We're not, because there's none that you can list. So it's
What do you identify yourself as?
I identify as a cis girl and bisexual.
How about you? Bisexual trans woman. What do you think is the best thing about being bi?
The options. I get to choose literally whoever that I like and obviously likes me back.
What's the best thing about being trans? Oh my god, I've got both worlds. I lived growing up as a male and I got to experience what that was like, and now I get to see the other side. It's a whole nother world, different rules. It's beautiful. I understand all sides.
I identify as which? Where's my motherfucking money?
Hi, I'm Nicole, and my pronouns are she, they, z.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
And I am gender fluid.
But of course you are.
But I'm the type of gender fluid who never goes fully into man.
Everybody knows you never go full.
Man. Maybe I'll go fully into woman, but I'll never go fully into man. But I will go into mask.
What?
So when I'm feeling, feminine, my pronouns are she, her. When I'm feeling a little less feminine, but still feminine, it's going to be she, they. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, I am Zeezer.
That's not a real thing.
That is because to me, personally, and this isn't kosher, this isn't orthodox, I personally view Zem to be somewhat masculine, like he, him, except you put a little Z, because, it's a little different. So like you say like he's over there, just say Z's over there. So as I wake up on this lazy Sunday afternoon, my pronouns today are Zeezer.
It's as simple as that.
Hi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir. Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart. I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Okay. The sweet water starts at okay.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's just always like a knife. It always hurts every single time. I was wondering if there's a manager I could talk to about something that happened. Yeah, I was called sir. Oh, okay. It just really sucks every time it happens. Sorry about that. I don't need to be called ma'am. I just need to not be called sir, Did you call me sir? I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir.
What?
Call me sir.
Oh.
It's just like, it kind of just hurts a lot to get called sir.
Oh, sorry about that.
They aren't misgendering you. You are misgendering yourself. And we should not condone these types of mental health issues. Stop blaming everyone else for misgendering yourself. And you know what's the funny and crazy part about this is? That he is recording himself to get some views out of quote-unquote getting misgendered.
I'm a biologist. Are you saying that a woman is only a person who has 2 X chromosomes?
I think that's the scientific definition, yes.
It's actually not. You can be a woman with female genitalia and be XY.
You're talking about a very rare condition known as intersexed. What we're talking about in our culture are people with perfectly normal functioning sexual organs trying to have them removed and trying to transition to another gender, which is impossible scientifically. What I'm saying is the way out of that problem is not surgery according to the data. It's practically the same rate, whether they have the surgery or not. My problem is with the children.
Is there a magic button at 18 that instantly makes you feel like you know who you are and absolutely what your gender is?
No, we've just chosen 18 kind of as the adulthood crossing point, although for some issues it's 21, like drinking. No, maybe it's later than 18.
And that's but why do you have to call the cops over that?
Look at my ear. Like, this is assault. What do you mean? It's battery.
Something wrong with her. She don't got it all. She ain't got it all.
Should we just let that happen? I just gotta...
No, but you shouldn't be calling the cops.
Why not? You should.
And why are you letting this organization detain people like that? They're not the cops. I'm not drunk at all, actually. I live in the neighborhood and I know about your organization. Y'all just act as intermediary cops, and you're not supposed to detain people.
He has to be accounted for that.
Why?
He just punched him in the face.
So then why don't they account for it?
You want him to kick his...
No, this is...
All right, then what else do you... That's what they job.
Yeah, you're not gonna go without consequences for punching someone. You can't get away with it, especially if the cops are nearby. It's like they're against normal policing, but are all for actual authoritarianism.
Okay, is it okay if I touch you? Yeah? Okay, cool. Is it okay if I touch you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so before we get started, do you mind if I touch you?
Why? Are you a witch?
No, I'm just asking for your permission.
So how are you supposed to cut my hair if you don't touch me?
I'm just giving you actually for permission.
Don't ask me no stupid question, please.
No problem.
If I let your evil spirit cut my hair.
What are your pronouns?
They, them. She, they. I'm glad we exchanged those.
What are your pronouns, by the way?
Oh, they, them. Okay, thank you for asking.
Yes!
What do you want me to refer to you as?
Like I told you, you are a witch.
No,
Why are you a ritualist?
I'm just asking.
What do I look like?
Okay, he, she, she, G.
In fact, it's okay. I don't need no more airport.
Then how you gonna get to the wedding?
Don't worry, you'll find out.
Really have a right to be treated respectfully.
We are unfortunately running out of time, but Peter, I just want to get one final thought from you. Are there words that are used to describe men that offend you?
Not particularly, and if there are some I don't like, I certainly wouldn't want them banned, but it always goes back to that old adage, sticks and stones may break my bones, but there will always be something to offend a feminist.
Peter
Lloyd. No, that's just obnoxious.
Peter Lloyd,
you have to give me a chance.
I don't think you can be sexist towards men, and I don't think you can be racist towards white people.
How have you arrived at that conclusion?
That's a good question. I don't know, just hearing like all the stories about like all this messed up stuff they did in the past, like I'm not even black, but I have a grudge against them.
Are you referring to slavery?
Yeah, and just like the treatment of them over time since then, like all the discrimination.
Do you think that white people were the only ones who engaged in slavery?
So wait, are you trying to like say that like white people were slaves too?
Yeah, white people were also slaves.
That's where the term slave comes from, is the Slavic region.
Exactly.
Eastern Europeans are so oppressed even within Europe.
I don't know, but I didn't see them oppressed over here that much. Like, I don't know. In history, I don't see books talking about the oppression of white people.
Yeah, that's
Why do you think
that's
that
a problem.
We're going to be here all night. Don't worry, we have all night. That silence answered the question on behalf of you. Just accept that you lost the argument and you learned something new.
Travis Allen, he was a girls soccer coach at Randolph Union Middle School in Vermont. He was just suspended from his job without pay because he complained about a male student looming around the girls' locker room. Then the school punished Travis Allen's daughter, Blake Allen, for speaking about it too. Travis, you complained about a man in the women's locker room and you were punished?
Correct. I made a social media post that referred to the male student as a male, and I was punished because I misgendered him.
Blake Allen, what did you do wrong in the eyes of the school, and how were you punished?
I was in the locker room and the trans student walked in. The rest of the team was in there. I was really uncomfortable and I left, and I told the school and they just shut me down and said there's nothing they could do, and I was later suspended.
How old were you when this happened?
I'm 14, I'm a freshman.
And when you complained about a dude in the girls' locker room, you got suspended?
Yes.
This is the craziest stuff that I've ever heard. Suspending both father and daughter for speaking the truth. Yeah, that tells you that the educational system wants to control the way you think and wants to force their ideology on students.
Literally, I'm seeing so many white people right now going on like organizer retreats and posting about their joy and how awesome it was. Honestly, I want to see more of y'all like sitting your ass at home and giving your money to black and brown people so they can do that shit. I want to see more of y'all like sitting your ass at home and giving your money to black and brown people so they can do that.
Hi there, my name's Katie and I'm a non-binary teacher. And this is my classroom library. And as you can see, it has a lot of books, but there's one big problem with it. None of them look or act or feel like me. So you can help by going to the link in my profile and donating to my Donors Choose project to get more LGBTQ plus friendly books in our school from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade. Thanks.
Girl, what even is an LGBTQ friendly book for kindergartners? What does that even mean? And what is with this sort of self-centered mindset that the books in your classroom need to somehow be a reflection of you or need to revolve around you? When you become an educator/teacher, you are there to educate. You are not there to insert yourself, your own ideology, your own sense of who you are into the classroom. If I went into a classroom for my future children and this was their teacher, out the next day.
Define woman. Go, please. One of you.
A person who their internal idea of what they are is a woman.
Terrible definition. Coming from a lesbian, that destroys the very concept of our sexual orientation. Just saying that it's an idea.
Why?
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 Because you can't be connected and sexually attracted to somebody's brain. LGBTQRSTUV. Well, how about an H in there for heterosexual?
Hello, Navarro. Suck any good lately. What's wrong, Navarro? I think you like a big in your mouth. Ha ha ha. Page 23. The other boy, page 23.
That is wild, bro. Her saying that it's inappropriate language when that's what they teach to children is crazy. How delusional can you be to say something like that?
Here it is. What's the educational benefit of talking about the What's the educational benefit of talking about that? Is that going to help someone on the SAT score? Hear me kind. Get a shot of that. She can care less. That's a sign. She needs to put down her sign. For a second. Oh, you're putting me out. For what? For asking you to abide by the rules. A board member held up a sign, but the audience couldn't hold up signs. This is tyranny, and we're dealing with a corrupt government system. I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here, because it's getting ridiculous.
I don't know how these people got to this position and became board members. Instead of finding a solution, they act like they don't care. And you can see it when one of them said, "Can we remove this gentleman?" Yeah, they definitely do not care, unless it's something that would benefit them. Homeschooling is also an option, that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh boy! Assigning it a gender already? Wow. You're not gonna let it choose?
Well, no matter what he identifies as, we will always love him.
It.
What?
You'll love it no matter what.
It's not an it, it's my baby.
Right. It's a baby.
Steve, make her stop.
I'm naming my baby. It'll live in the metaverse raised by Mark Zuckerberg, and when it turns 18 it can choose which reality it wants to live in. So you're actually having it? Are you not pro-choice?
In gender roles and stuff like that, boys are just supposed to be stronger. That's just a thing that happens. They work out at the gym. Girls certainly can work out too if they want. But again, it's more common for boys.
Who's one to say what gender, depends, who's stronger? It doesn't matter what gender you are. It matters who you are. It doesn't matter what you were born. It matters what you want to be.
I think getting rid of, these preconceived notions that, boys go to gyms, girls, stay at home. One of my best friends is a girl, and, she's stronger than half the guys I know.
A lot of people were asking in the comments of my last couple of videos about my anchor charts. So here you can see a couple of other anchor charts that I have about my pronouns. It says, my name is Mixed Cocktail. My pronouns are Z, Zem, Zir, and Zirs. Mixed C is my teacher. Z is multilingual. Students practice and speak Spanish with Zem. Zir hobby is learning languages.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna read these comments. Seriously, this is This is insane. What in the actual zuck? There's a big problem here with that teacher. This is the dumbest thing I never thought I'd experience.
Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use prince, princess pronouns in sentences, so let's go!
I now identify as Thy Majesty, or Your Lordship. Look, I really don't care what you want to call yourself or how you want to behave, but this is just getting ridiculous. And she's got a lot of videos saying you can identify as a shark, which has got me really confused because I'm curious how people identify as sharks. And she's got another one where she says you can identify as a flower. And the one where I completely lost my mind, where you said you can identify as a spore. A spore. Who's identifying as a spore? Anyways, from now on, I want everyone in the comments to refer to me as Thy Majesty, and if you're not going to do that, you're bigoted. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
The biggest problem in today's society is that everybody wants things to be easy. And to solve that problem, we're now being told that society's values and morals are wrong because they're too difficult. Marriage, discipline, a healthy lifestyle. No, you don't need any of that. But what they don't talk about is that the options that they're giving us are also not easy. Marriage is hard. Being divorced is also very hard. So is being alone for the rest of your life. Being fit is very hard. So is being obese. So is being unhealthy. Life is always going to be hard no matter what. What you need to start understanding is that you're being brainwashed to believe that there is an easy way out. And with that, you're making the wrong choices. Make sure that you're making the right choices for your life.
I 1000% agree with this woman right here. She is telling us the harsh truth. Some people would accept it and some would get offended. Accountability, integrity, hard work ethic, goals, and self-sufficiently are so important to teach our children nowadays.
Hello. What? No, it's nothing. Okay. Well, it's just... You probably shouldn't say that. What? You know, the word hello. is a term that was used years ago at a much happier time, so it's actually considered to be quite offensive.
Oh, sorry.
That's another outdated term. You shouldn't say it, it's lost all meaning.
Right.
I just don't think the lefties would appreciate you saying that.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, absolutely. And I do believe there is something to be said about this sort of, how do I put this, willing ignorance, right? This sort of duality between that consciousness of being aware in such manner and yet readily marginalizing that intersectionality. It's very profound. These conversations are intrinsically multifaceted, right? There are different angles to be looking at this from, and it's crucial to juxtapose that contrast within those realms of varying perspectives. And it's sort of the case where, you know, are we asking ourselves the right questions, or are we all just sort of victim to the cause itself? It's suffocating, to be quite frank. It's paralyzing. But having these conversations is extremely, extremely vital in fundamental change, and being able to sort of step back and look at this from a bird's eye view and not just a worm's eye view. And that, of course, begs the ever-aching question of whose bird is this, right?
I feel like I just listened to a New York Times podcast. They love to use every big word of the dictionary in every sentence. And in the end, they sound like they said a bunch of nothing. I'm just impressed that this guy memorized all of this.
Why do I call myself gay if my pronouns are he, they, and I'm dating a girl? Well, say that louder for y'all in the back if you want me to too. You can identify as any gender you want and use whatever pronouns make you feel most comfortable. Meaning you can identify as a male but use she, her pronouns if that's what you like. I identify as just me. Whatever that is. I'm just me, baby. And I like to use gay as an umbrella term, like how queer people use queer for themselves. Because that's what feels right to me. Duh.
There is a question that needs to be thrown in the trash and set on fire. And that is when people ask me, hey, do you have kids? And I respond with, yeah, 3. The question is always, boys or girls? And that question needs to be removed from every single language, because it is always super uncomfortable for the other person when I respond with 2 girls and 1 non-binary. And then they look at me like I have 2 heads and they're like, what's non-binary again? Well, they don't identify as male or female. It's actually genius. They found a loophole in the system and they get to pave the way and be whoever they want to be without stereotypes. It's brilliant. So not she, nope, they, them. Yeah, see, I don't get that. I'll never understand it. Yeah, I didn't understand it either until my kid told me they were non-binary, and then I made a point to understand it, and I hope you would do the same if and when your child comes to you with the same thing. It's never awkward for me, but for the other person, yeah.
Fellas, I know that you're suffering, but just bear with me, because what you're gonna watch in the end is mind-boggling. The last clip of this video is gonna shock you, and I really want to hear your thoughts about it.
So my question to you is, what makes you a woman?
You know how we make fun of short men for overcompensating for masculinity because someone made them feel unattractive or not masculine enough at some point in their life? I think this would be the female or feminine version of that.
What are your pronouns?
Queen, queen, self.
All right, now that we got your pronouns out of the way, can you rate me out of 10?
Like an 8.5.
All right, here you go, $20.
Thanks so much.
Would it be alright if I said guys, gals, and non-binary pals? No, that reduces us to like a third gender, and the whole point in being non-binary is not fitting into a box. Okay, what about ladies and gentle femmes? Ugh, don't ever say that again. I'm just trying to be respectful. Just say hey everyone. Oh yeah, huh?
What are your pronouns?
They, them.
Why?
Because I'm non-binary.
What are your pronouns?
Any.
Why?
Just whatever people feel comfortable with, you know?
What are your pronouns?
He, him.
Why?
That's just how I identify.
I love your eyes. Are they real?
No, they're contact.
Oh, okay.
It was just
getting a drink at the bar and they called both Azul and I ladies. After they were done making the drink, I went up and I was like, some people don't refer to themselves as ladies, but it's okay that you didn't know. And they kicked us out. I didn't think that was gonna happen. Like, how am I supposed to feel? This was the first time that I've like told somebody I felt brave enough to tell somebody my identity.
If your mental state is so fragile that you get sent into orbit the second that somebody refers to you as your actual biological sex, I imagine there is an issue with you internally and not the person who made the reference. That is not harassment. That dude was just acknowledging reality. And we've all at some point or another in our lives been referred to by the wrong name or even the wrong sex. Do we have a mental breakdown? No. If being misgendered, or in this case, appropriately gendered, does this to you, then I recommend maybe not talking to strangers.
Hey, white men. Due to systemic and structural racism that Black women have had to endure, they only make 64 cents to every dollar that you make. So, as a fitting start to Black History Month, I want to take what you will make today, multiply it by 64%, and then take that difference and give it to some Black women today. This shows that you are honoring them, that you are appreciating them, and that you are dedicated to equity. And Black women, you know what to do.
Fellas, this is what I was talking about. Now imagine with me, this woman right here is a psychiatrist at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. It won't take a creative imagination to understand what she's saying to the kids that she looks after. So fellas, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. And please like and subscribe to the channel if you made it to the end of this video.
Ma'am, don't assume my gender. Yeah, don't assume your gender. What are your pronouns then? They and Z and princess. Princess? Damn.
Hello.
What do you have to say to the trans students on this campus who actively feel victimized by your presence here today?
Life's tough. Get a helmet, man. I'm too pregnant for this. Next question.
Yesterday, I came face to face with the very farmer who gave me a massive wedgie at the Royal Show last year, and I didn't even know it. Last year, I went inside the cattle judging ring at the Royal Show, and a farmer grabbed me from the back of my shirt and the back of my shorts, literally lifting me up and giving me a massive wedgie before throwing me around and pinning me up against the fence.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
So let me get this straight. You go to someone else's property, do what you call a peaceful protest, which is not peaceful at all, and that leads to damages on their property, and you expect that farmer to be like, please kindly leave my property. You're delusional. You're on someone else's property. You don't have the right to do anything unless you're granted permission by the owner. I'm glad that he knocked the delusion out of your head because you seem like you need it.
I'm not into touching, okay? I'm not, let me put that out front. I'm no touching, no touching. No touching, I won't touch you.
I was paired up with Isaac. He was like, no touching. I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
I'm grabbing the stud here. I walk into the room and they go, oh, old guy, conservative. So they put you in a box. So I just do the best I can and hopefully that it's good enough.
So the music will start, the boys will turn around.
Right.
So gentlemen, let's turn. Gorgeous. And then we start walking. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then maybe let's look at the gentleman. Gentlemen, you guys can acknowledge us. Ooh, who is this? Cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't do this. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm a man of God. I can't do this.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I love those people. I pray for them. I would never do anything to hurt them or condemn them. But men are not supposed to dress like women. I'm not going to go along with that. It's time to stand up and be a man of God.
Those are his boundaries, and they should respect and not cross his boundaries. And in my opinion, if you accept everything, you stand for nothing.
You don't get your own pronouns, just like you don't get your own prepositions or your own adjectives. You know, it's like if I were to tell you, my adjectives are handsome and brilliant. And no matter whatever you're talking about me, you have to describe me as handsome and brilliant because that's how I identify. It makes no sense. You don't get your own pronouns. That's grammar, that's language.
So you think it's a delusion? Someone is self-delusional?
Yeah, I think it's delusion. It could be mental illness. It could be it's just a lot of different things. What is a woman?
What is it? That's a stupid question, dude. That's a dumb question.
What is a woman? It's not a trick question. What is a woman?
Someone who identifies as a
You can't answer the question with the question. Yeah, define the woman without saying woman.
It's a social
You're in college, paying for an education. What is a woman?
How about you talk to someone with media training? How about you talk to someone?
You don't need media training. It's not a trick.
Well, yeah,
what is a woman? You can't answer the question with the... It's the college kids of America going hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt who think it's a trick question when you ask them what a woman is.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world that we live in right now, where college students can't even answer a simple question. And my question is, how people like this got to college?
Can you identify as a black person?
No,
Why?
because I'm not black.
I'm not a woman, but I can identify as a woman according to you.
If you transition, maybe.
What defines a transition?
If that's your goal, you know?
If you believe it.
Sure.
If you believe you're black, why aren't you black?
Well, that's just not, that's like genetics. That's like ancestry.
You're also born a man or a woman. It's the same thing. That's also genetics.
Okay, I'm over it.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Owner Alexandra O'Brien calls it a space for women by women, with priority seating for females and an extra tax for men.
1 week out of every month we have an 18% premium for men, which is the same amount as the gender pay gap.
I think it's fair if you think about the world and the gender inequality that we have.
I think it's a brilliant idea because I don't think that many people know the actual gap.
The tax is optional, but so far none of the cafe's male customers have refused to pay it.
I could wear that, yeah, considering that there is a fair, it's a fairly unequal pay gap between men and women, even though there is supposedly equal pay, it doesn't really equate out there.
Staff say the gender tax isn't aimed at excluding people, but rather educating them, with proceeds going to charity.
If people aren't comfortable with paying it or men don't want to pay it, we're not going to kick them out the door. Like, it's just a good opportunity to do some good.
Yeah, I see your idea, and I get that you're trying to do good in the world, but you're also trying to prove something that doesn't exist. The wage gap. It does not exist. And at the end of the day, I am 100% certain that you're gonna run out of business.
Yesterday, a lady that was involved in a car crash, actually linked to one of my circle of friends, she died because your protesters, Just Stop Oil, were blocking the road and the ambulance couldn't get through in time. She couldn't get the help she needed and she died. Earlier you said that you are a peaceful protesters. My friend is dead. How do you answer that?
We have a blue light policy, which means whenever we have roadblocks, as soon as we hear sirens, we see the blue lights, people move out of the way, and we have never had any complaints.
Who pays for your accommodation at university?
My student loan.
Have you ever paid any bills in your lifetime?
No.
So you don't know what it's like to be a homeowner and not to be able to afford your energy bills. If we stop oil, how much more expensive do you think fuel's going to be, Phoebe? Or is it that you're just spouting out words that you and your friend think look good?
How many genders are there?
2.
And they are?
Male, female.
But what about someone's right to tell you what their gender is?
No problem at all. You're going to tell me what your gender is, but in the world is less fucked world, I don't have to believe it. But I'm thrilled for you. Don't require me to think what you think.
We need to let children be whatever they want to be. What if they want to be conservative? Not that.
We would not like to answer your questions.
He's getting too close. He's putting the microphone 6 inches.
I'm just asking questions.
No, we're not interested.
If they don't want to answer questions,
please back off.
Yeah, but I have every right to be here.
He's harassing us.
No, I'm not.
It's not necessary.
You just...
They can stay right down there. They don't need to. They don't need to. This is harassment right here. We're standing here.
It's snowflakes. You can't make it up.
Okay, guys, seriously, if they don't want to talk to you, back off. They do not have to talk to you.
Yeah, of course.
So if they don't want to talk to you, move on and find somebody else who does want to talk to you.
But this is a public sidewalk. This is
not. This is the street.
I'll take care of it. Thank you.
It's just crazy. I mean, you have bigger things to worry about than this.
This isn't a public street to stand.
You're on a sidewalk.
I'll let you take care of it. You can go talk to somebody else. They don't want to talk to you, okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, how's it going?
Careful with this one. Big protester. He'll put you on YouTube. He'll blast you all over social media.
What the actual fuck was that? This guy reminds me of a Discord moderator. Always sensitive.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him.
Brian Laverne, he, him.
Hi, I am Andy P. From Los Angeles, they, them pronouns.
Thank you, Chair. Nick, he, him, his from Twin Cities.
James Jackson, Sacramento, DSA, he, him.
Hi, my name is Onlin Wang. I use he, him.
This is Chris, he, him from Cleveland. This is Daniel Ray from Piedmont. He, him pronouns.
My name is Trey. I use...
My God, bro, are we really gonna start introducing ourselves like this? Your name, your age, where you live, and your pronouns? Here is a better idea for you. Wear name tags and put your pronouns in them.
You to listen to me. Do you identify as black?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
No, it's a serious question because you might not identify. Can you please put the mic? Thank you. Okay.
When I walked into the room,
I am not done with my question.
Hey, young lady.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, you can't have a conversation with this person because she doesn't believe her own eyes and she's too sensitive to even have a conversation with. So it's just a waste of time.
I'm trans, your kid's trans, show me some fucking respect. Did you ever consider setting up somewhere for us to actually speak? No, you didn't, so we're doing it ourselves. This is not a church. This is not a church.
No.
You can leave.
And the same goes for you.
Trans people.
Why can't you allow both sides of the issue to talk?
When is this going to go on with you guys not controlling the meeting? Control the meeting and get them out.
So what it seems like is that as if you want free speech, as long as it benefits you, as long as you get what you want.
They always have so much of nothing to say. I don't have no context and I don't know what's happening over here. And honestly, I don't even want to know. Because this is all that they do. Become extremely aggressive and start screaming and yelling.
Why is it that if the government finds diamonds or oil in your backyard, it's government property? But if they find drugs, it's yours? Messed up.
See, this guy keeps on trying to bump me every time I walk by. You like? Dude, I'm walking down the street. I'm standing here. I'm allowed. Let him go sideways. Get out of my... Alright, Alex, you need to leave. I'm not leaving, guys. You're trying to get in my way. I'm here on a public street. Get out of my way. Oh my God, guys, I'm so scared. The Antifa, they brought their play guns, their squirt guns. Oh my God, your arts and crafts time. Did this mess up your arts and crafts time? You guys gonna be able to go home and play with your arts and crafts? Why is it so tiny? Look how scary they are. Oh my God, this guy's so scared. I'm so scared. He's got his gun, his big gun. He's a big bad guy. Oh my God, I'm so happy you're protecting these children so they can go get indoctrinated and go in there for transgender story time. You're such a good American. God bless this guy. Look at him. I'm scared. How dare you? I mean, these people, these are the real cowards. They're hiding behind their masks. They got their little guns. They think they're so tough. We're at a bookstore here in Denton, Texas, where they're trying to do drag queen story hour. And of course, the typical people here with their masks on, not able to actually stand up for what they believe in because they're all cowards.
Imagine taking your kids to an armed storybook hour. That's all I'm gonna say.
What gender do you think you are?
I'm a male.
Maybe I think you're a woman.
No, legally I'm a male. It says on my driver's license that I'm a male.
What if I say I don't believe you?
Doesn't matter.
What gender do you think I am?
I would assume you're female.
See, you're making assumptions. I identify as non-binary.
What pronoun should I use?
You should use they, them pronouns. If you don't, I would consider that disrespectful, and that's actually an act of to intentionally misgender someone.
Here we come to the issue, and this is why I'm out here. You just said that's an act of violence. That means it's an actionable offense. That means it's a crime.
Trans women are have the highest rate of murder within the LGBT community. So if you were to intentionally misgender a trans woman, that could put her at risk of murder. You understand that?
I don't understand.
I think that really does show that you're privileged in the situation then.
We have no idea how many pronouns there are. We can never know how many pronouns there are. And to not use a proper pronoun is an act of violence against them. Did you ask my pronouns before you sat down?
No, I didn't ask your pronouns because
Why?
I haven't referred to you with pronouns.
You didn't ask my pronouns, though. You just said you can ask.
Yeah, you can ask. What are your pronouns?
But you didn't ask.
What are your pronouns?
You just talked about me being privileged. You understand? No one goes around asking pronouns before they speak with people.
See, you lost me right there when you said that you're making assumptions. So it's okay for you to make assumptions and say that he's a woman, a bird, a tree, or whatever, because you don't believe him. But when he assumes that you're a woman, you get all defensive, and now it's an act of violence. And that's when you lose me, because there is nothing just or fair about that. It's like you saying society should accept us no matter what. The way we look, the way we think, and how we identify ourselves. And if we don't, we are bigots and tyrants. And there is nothing liberal about what I said right now, which you guys think that you stand for. And it shows that your IQ is questionable, just like this person that you're about to watch right here.
So why would God equip the average woman to be smarter than men? Do you think it's just for homeschooling their children?
Again, the claim that you made at first, which is that men and women have bell curves, the men's bell curve being wider than the woman's, would not imply that the average woman is smarter than the average man.
Oh, no.
It would line them up exactly.
The curve itself implies or actually indicates that
no, it would
on
just
average...
Be the extremes.
No,
right?
no. If you actually look at the curves at the top, it's women taller than the men's curve.
But the IQ of the curve would be on the x-axis, right? That's where you get the extremes. So I think.
So are you disputing that on average women are more intelligent than men?
As would Larry Summers, as would the people who have studied this.
I'm an 8-year military veteran. I'm a college student. I'm a black woman, and I believe that white privilege fucking exists.
You served in the military. You've made good choices. You're getting rewarded for them. You're going to live in the American middle class. What privilege do I have that you don't have that is based on skin color, not on wealth or socioeconomic status? Name one thing that you can't do that I can do.
I don't know. I can't make a whole fucking dollar.
Oh my God. There's so many different ways they sell you oppression, and she has purchased all of them today. So right now we are on sexism, right? So she's saying that I can't make a full dollar. Yes, you can.
What frustrates me is you've served our country, which deserves to be applauded. And you have lived a life of a victor, and you have the gumption to tell me you're a victim without evidence. You were not able to cite one thing that you cannot do that I can do.
So you're actually the reason why people like us can't do well, because they sold you our oppression and you bought it. Blacks were doing better under the Jim Crow era.
If you acknowledge the oppression of other people, we can heal from it.
No, we
can't.
But if
you want to ignore it, we won't have anything happen.
That's not how this works. Dialogue and acknowledging things doesn't make us suddenly rich.
This is a prime example of logic and facts arguing with feelings and emotions. She couldn't back one thing that she said with a fact or a statistic. And honestly, it says it all when they're having a discussion and suddenly they walk away. That shows that they don't want to hear the truth. They don't care for the truth. They just want to indoctrinate people with their propaganda. And they always hate for no reason. And this next clip is an example that explains it all.
I just want to let you know that I hate you and every other man species on this world for the rest of my days. And I blame you for my fortune.
Okay, let's...
I hate you, except for my favorite band and my man. I just hate you in particular.
Okay. Let's break that down. Here's my question.
What?
If you hate me so much, why do you spend all of your free time in my class?
Because my other teachers don't like me.
Okay, so that makes me not the problem. I don't think you actually hate me.
Oh, sorry, my God. I hope that apple is radioactive.
You hope the apple is radioactive? At this point, me too.
When you were in college, did you ever want to drop out? Because you were that much of a failure. You just wanted to drop out. Because we know you can't do math. You know.
Anything else? That's all of it? That's all the thoughts?
No. You look like a fool that looks like you got drop kicked as a baby and flew out of a window with the arm notice of that fat football man. It reminds me of you. You know why?
Why?
This fat, disgusting head reminds me of Stewie. And Stewie just could be you. If you were so grotesque and disgusting.
Anything else?
You're saying that you discovered that you're a woman. I'm asking you how you did. That's a very fair question.
Okay.
How do you know that you're a woman?
So first of all, listening to transgender people.
No.
Things like looking at yourself in the mirror and not recognizing yourself. Feeling alone, even when you're surrounded by guys.
Why does that make you a woman?
Because
as opposed to just a man who doesn't get along with some other men, or a man who's depressed, or a man who doesn't feel at home totally in his body, which, by the way, is a pretty universal human experience. Everybody goes through it at one time or another. So in what way does that make you a woman?
I know because they tell me.
You need them to tell you what you are?
Yes.
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman, would you say I'm not a woman anymore?
He ended all of his arguments right there. You can't go around saying that you're a woman based on what people are telling you. That's just letting people think for you and not thinking for yourself. If you let other people make decisions for you all of the time, I'm sorry, but you're not mentally well.
What about folks who have wombs but are not women? Like trans people, genderqueer folks. Why do you keep saying women when this issue affects more than women?
Because there are two genders, male and female.
I am non-binary. I have a friend who is intersex, who is born, who has different chromosomes than you would expect somebody physically to have. Because how many people in this room have had a chromosomal test? This issue affects more than women. It affects trans men. It affects genderqueer folks.
Women have wombs.
I am not a woman, and I have a womb.
You are a woman.
I
and
know.
you have
No.
Man, sit your ass down.
You see? You can't have a rational conversation with these people. I swear, bro, if the word apple was offensive to them, they will stand up and start yelling and screaming just like this. If they don't like the way that you speak with them or you call them out on their delusion, they'll do anything in their power to cancel you. Or they might tell you you should educate yourself. Just like this next clip of Candace Owens debating a college student.
Hi, I'm wondering, there are dozens of words for two-spirited people, people that would now be considered LGBTQ or trans people in the native languages. So I'd like to know how, as these people have existed for thousands of years before you were alive or anyone else in this room was alive, and before anyone even colonized America, if trans people were around then, I'm just wondering why you think it is that trans people are only here now because the media is telling people these things.
Well, do you think it's weird that I graduated with 0 trans people? Do you think what do you think has contributed to the explosion of transgender people from the time that I was in high school? I'll ask you a question back. If this was just a natural thing, and I don't know what you're talking about with two-spirit people, is this like a Native American tribe, like high, smoking, and talking about your spirit? I'm asking you seriously, because when I think of Native American tribes talking about their spirits, I know that they used to smoke a lot, they used to do drugs, they also were cannibals who used to eat people, so I don't know if we should be taking our cues from cannibals. But
I think
can you
that's
explain
kind
to me
of
what two-spirit
ridiculous.
is in the history?
There are people that would now be considered trans people, people that did not feel that they fit the
What part,
binary
though?
gender.
Native Americans? I'm asking you.
Yes, I'm telling you that not only in one Native American tribe, but in multiple tribes, there were dozens of terms that referred to people that would now be considered trans, and that was hundreds of years ago. So I'm just wondering why you think that people are only trans now because the media is telling them to be.
Well, I told you, because of the proliferation. So you can't just go from having 0% to suddenly 25%
But what
of
I'm
people.
saying is that these people were around for thousands of years.
Well, what you're saying is that some Native American tribes had people that would be considered trans today,
People that
something that we can't
were
fact
trans.
check because they're dead.
It's
right?
historical knowledge.
It's historical
documented.
knowledge that there were trans Native Americans.
Yes.
I really don't think that's historical knowledge. But here's what I'll answer. I don't think that there were
Well, I'm telling you
trans
that
Native
there
Americans.
were, so if you could educate yourself a little more, you would know that.
Okay.
As well.
I will educate myself.
My choice! My choice! My choice! My choice! My choice! My choice!
Yeah, the testosterone is high on this one, fellas. This is like another level of insanity that I've never seen in my life. Imagine with me getting triggered by someone who's holding a mic and a camera. I would not like to be near or talk to any person like this, because they really have some mental health issues. And speaking of mental health, let me know in the comments if this person that you're about to watch next is also mentally ill.
Try me! Trump! 2020! Trump! 4 more years! 4 more years! What, try it?
If you made it to the end of this video, congratulations, and be sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching.